Hi everyone, this is Shannon Shy. Welcome to another installment of Q&A with Shannon about OCD recovery. Thank you everybody for the questions. I will get to them in due time. And if you want to send me a question, you can do so on Facebook, Instagram, my YouTube channel, or send me an email, shannonshy@gmail.com. Uh, for more information about everything, you can go to my website, ocdrecoveryturningpoints.com. All right, we are at part 7 of this little mini series. That sounds so dramatic. About my strategy. The question that began all of this was from Anonymous, and it said, could you please talk a little about the actual application of your strategy itself? Like, how do we know this is an OCD thought? What is it doing to us to make it so that we know it's OCD? And then what do we do? I'm pretty sure I remember the main tenets, but a refresher course can't hurt. Again, that's from Anonymous. There will be 2 videos on this ground rule that we're going to discuss. And that will become self-evident as we go forth as to why there are 2 videos. This is really important, this particular ground rule, because it's the one where we actually deprive the disorder of our mental or physical compulsion. So you're in the moment, you're in the vortex of an OCD episode. The doubt is rich. The anxiety is at an apex. It's palpable, right? The emotional and physical pain of that anxiety is way out there, way up there. We have identified the thought as OCD and we've attributed it to OCD, and we're trying to allow it to just be in our minds. Now what? Well, that's ground rule 5. Ground rule 5 is resist giving into the compulsion, no matter the pain. Resist, resist, resist. The first checkpoint, and there are 2 checkpoints, that's why we have 2 videos. The first checkpoint, things I would tell myself. It'll be okay if I don't do what OCD wants me to do. I will not do what OCD wants me to do. I will resist. I will resist. It'll be okay if I resist and don't do what OCD wants me to do. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Hence the name of my first book about my recovery. In the 15 years since I went public with my strategy, so I have my Facebook page that I started in 2012. I've had 3 books. I've been on the public stage as an advocate. I'm not saying that to brag, but to give you some context here. In those 15 years, there has been a few, less than a handful, of sufferers who have criticized my approach as self reassurance. And they say I did it the wrong way. Well, I know how sick I was. I know where I am now with recovery, and I know how I did it. So if I did it wrong, I'm okay with that. Seriously. What I was doing in the moment was coaching myself to resist, much in the same way that I motivated myself by thinking of all of the reasons that were important to me, including my family and my future, as to why it was important that I recover, why it was important that I resist. The key point here is I was taking personal responsibility for my choice. I wasn't relying on anyone else. To visualize it, it was a stare down between me and the disorder. I had decided that I needed to resist giving into the compulsion. I was deciding to be indifferent to the thoughts. I was deciding that I was going to push through the anxiety and move forward with the uncertainty. It was all on me. That took a lot of power away from the disorder. Recovery depends on you depriving the disorder of what it craves. It depends on you resisting giving into that compulsion. The checkpoint that I read to you reminded me that it was okay to resist, and that everything would be okay if I resisted. We all know this, those of us who suffer. Resisting giving into the compulsion defies every other natural tendency that we have to want immediate relief. But immediate relief is not our objective. Ultimate relief is our objective. If we continue to give in to doubt and anxiety, we will never recover. So it is that fork in the road choice between giving in or depriving the disorder. The only relevant question in recovery has nothing to do with the details or the content of the thoughts. Did I kill somebody? I have to be sure that I didn't kill somebody. The only relevant question is, what is the consequence of me continuing to give in versus the consequence of me enduring this doubt and this anxiety right now and depriving the disorder of what it craves? One of those choices keeps you in the hell pit, and the other choice takes you to recovery. So, more on Ground Rule 5 tomorrow. Stay tuned.